Hello everyone, welcome to today's stream here. Today we're going to be going over Tropical Storm Nicole, severe weather, and then also a blizzard update in today's video. So let's get right into things here. Okay, sorry about that guys. We're using it on the old slides here. I know this is, you're used to probably my usual live stream layouts here. Today we're going to just be doing it here on slides to show you guys this. We'll also look at the models in today's stream. Sorry about that little interruption there where there was no sound. Forgot that this actually had no camera to it, this scene. So, but let's get right into things. Okay, here's our agenda for today. We have the National Weather Service alerts, Tropical Storm Nicole update, severe weather today and the next few days, blizzard update, a cold blast coming up, because there's going to be pretty cold blast coming up. Also, welcome Rain Mavens to the stream. Then we'll do live questions, live radar also, and then we'll look at the models here around the end of today's stream here. So let's get right into things here. Our National Weather Service alerts here. We do have quite a bit of winter alerts going on for the Midwest and Upper Midwest here, including some blizzard warnings going on here for South Dakota, North Dakota, and Minnesota here. We'll have to watch for potentially blizzard conditions being possible here in those regions, so we will have to watch that very closely. We also have, it looks like, ice storm warnings also for areas of South Dakota here. So if you're in South Dakota, you want to watch out for that potentially freezing rain risk here or ice storm risk here, so stay safe there. We also do have tropical storm and hurricane warnings issued here for areas of Florida. Looks like some new tropical storm warnings here for areas of Georgia and South Carolina. So we are going to have to watch it very closely, as there is a tropical storm moving in, going to impact here in Florida, and is expected as of now to become a hurricane. It's at 70 miles per hour wind right now. It's expected to become a hurricane of Category 1, but nothing too big here. But still, these are some of the areas that did get impacted by Ian, I think it was. So, stay safe with that. Also have some red flags warnings going on for areas of Kentucky, Ohio, West Virginia here. So we'll have to watch some of those, and then maybe some mountain snow going on with some of those alerts there in areas of Colorado, Utah, Idaho there, Montana. So we'll have to watch. Also, some severe weather could be possible today into tonight here. Okay, here's our Tropical Storm Nicole here on our IR satellite here. It is a little organized here. It's not the most organized. It looks like it's not as organized as it once was here. We're not seeing as much of those darker colors, darker reds and stuff. So it doesn't look the most organized, but we'll have to watch this as this continues to head toward Florida here. Landfall will be either somewhere near tonight or tomorrow. Here we'll have to watch. It'll be more likely tomorrow here before it hits here in Florida, but it is hitting the Bahamas right now here, so we'll have to watch this here in Florida. Even though you may not be seeing the landfall till then, we're probably seeing some rain showers and thunderstorms going on here in Florida, so we'll have to watch out for that flash flooding risk being possible there in Florida. Here is our cone from the National Hurricane Center. Look at this tropical storm forced winds area. It goes all the way from the Bahamas all the way up to areas of South Carolina here. We have those tropical storm warnings all the way from South Carolina all the way down here to Florida. We also have some tropical storm warnings from, looks like, close to Destin all the way down here into southern Florida here. We also have those hurricane warnings in effect for Florida and the Bahamas here. But so far, it has not become a hurricane. It's only 5 miles per hour away from being a hurricane here. It's moving west at 13 miles per hour, so we'll have to watch this very closely. It's expected as of now to hit as a hurricane, according to the National Hurricane Center. Okay, so here's our intensity guidance. Most of the models are showing this is actually not even going to get up to a hurricane, according to most of these models here. But one model is showing maybe Category 1. So we may not have to worry about a Category 1 hurricane, because most of the models are actually disagreeing with it not being a Category 1 hurricane. But still something to watch closely as this continues to approach Florida. Most of the models are saying it's going to stay a tropical storm and weaken as it hits land, as you would expect here. It's going to get close to the Gulf here, but it won't really go right into the Gulf, so it won't strengthen too much, and it'll head right back into land here, and it's going to head toward potentially northeast and cause some heavy rain and flooding up in those regions. So, and it's not expected to strengthen after it hits here. Here is our cone to show where the storm's going to go. As you can see, this is going to go into Florida. It may get a little bit of the Gulf there, but it's going to head right back onto land there into areas South Carolina, North Carolina, all the way up to Virginia, into the northeast for areas Pennsylvania, New Jersey here, into areas of Maine. Then it looks like it starts heading into Canada, maybe into Canada here. You will have to watch for potentially some rain and thunderstorms going on, as this will head into the path where that other storm is coming through, causing potentially some rain and maybe some snow here in Canada with the other storm, which is going to cause our blizzard back in South Dakota, because these storms are going to, I think, combine here, so we'll have to watch it closely. Okay, severe weather forecast for day 1 here. There is a marginal risk of severe weather here for areas of Florida, a little bit of Georgia, not much of Georgia, but a little bit of Georgia here. We also do have a little marginal risk also for Nebraska and Kansas here, as we'll start seeing that thunderstorms develop tonight into tomorrow, causing maybe a little bit of a damaging wind threat there. And then there's the slight risk, or 2 out of 5 risk, where we have a little more scattered threat of severe weather being possible for areas of Florida. There is a 5% chance of tornadoes, less than 5% chance of large hail, and a 5% chance of wind here. Our main tornado risk will be down here where this tropical storm is going to hit. So we'll have to watch for potentially some tornadoes being possible. Then we also have that damaging wind threat back here in Nebraska and Kansas, where we're going to start seeing a little bit of a line try to develop here. It doesn't look like it's going to be anything too strong, because the models are showing it's really not going to be strong at all, really, this line that develops here. And it's going to continue to move into day 2 into areas of Kansas, Nebraska, then eventually Missouri, Iowa, with that strong trough moving through and cause colder temperatures here. So we're going to have to watch it closely. As mentioning our tornado threat here, we do have the 2% chance of tornadoes down here in Florida and a 5% chance of tornadoes down here in Florida. So we'll have to watch for a few tornadoes being possible here. So if you're in eastern Florida, you do want to watch out for potentially tornadoes being possible. Potentially tornadoes and probably flash flooding being possible in some of these areas. So make sure to be prepared if any tornado warnings are issued. And if you're on the roads, if there's water-covered roads, make sure to turn around and don't drown if you're in these regions. Okay, our wind outlook, I didn't include our hail outlook because there is less than 5% chance, so there's really no reason to look at our hail outlook. But we do have the wind outlook on here. We do have 5% risk here in these areas. As I told you, there could be a line potentially moving through with some stronger winds being possible here. But like I said, it's not too big of a risk here for today, but we'll have to watch it closely. Okay, day 2, we have actually 2 marginal risk areas from Kansas all the way up to Wisconsin, then another marginal risk from Florida all the way over to North Carolina. We also have 2 slight risk regions, meaning scattered severe storms are possible, from Missouri all the way up to Wisconsin here, then from Florida all the way over to North Carolina here, where we'll have to watch for some scattered severe storms being possible. There is a 5% chance of tornadoes here. There's a less than 5% chance of hail once again, and a 15% chance of wind in these areas here. We'll have to watch. Our 5% chance of tornadoes here is for areas of the south where this tropical storm is hitting. So we have 2% chance of tornadoes and a 5% chance of tornadoes from Florida all the way over to North Carolina. So a couple tornadoes will also be possible tomorrow in some of these regions. So make sure to be alert if you're in any of these regions. We also do have a 2% chance of tornadoes from Missouri all the way up here to Wisconsin. We'll have to watch for some tornadoes being possible here. An isolated tornado or 2 could be possible, but it's not going to be like a big threat. Not as big of a risk as down here in the southeast. Okay, our wind, our main risk area of wind will be up in these areas here in the upper Midwest. Here, or actually the Midwest here, from Kansas all the way up to Wisconsin, We also have a 5% risk from Missouri all the way up to Wisconsin also, where we could see some scattered damaging winds being possible here tomorrow, so we are going to have to watch it closely. As I said, that line will be moving through here, causing damaging winds here in some of these areas. And according to the Storm Prediction Center, they think it's going to get a little stronger as it heads toward this yellow region. So we will have to watch for a little more damaging winds being possible in this region tomorrow. Okay, our day 3 outlook here. We aren't able to see our tornado, hail, and damaging wind outlook, but we are able to see our categorical outlook for day 3. We have a marginal risk here down here in Texas. We also have another marginal risk from areas of South Carolina all the way up to New Jersey. Then we also have a slight risk here for areas of South Carolina, North Carolina, and a little bit of Virginia there. This will probably be mainly the risk of tornadoes here, but we will have to watch for maybe for a little bit of gusty winds. Probably not much of a hail threat by the time day 3 comes around. So it'll be mainly probably a tornado threat as this storm continues to move toward the northeast here. So you will have to watch, because we will have to watch for potentially tornadoes as this continues to move northeast, and we'll have to watch for flooding being possible too here. Okay, our blizzard update here, we do have, as I said, blizzard warnings. I'm showing you a little more closer in just to let you guys see the warnings here. There are some blizzard warnings, meaning potentially blizzard conditions could be possible here. We also do have the winter storm warnings going all the way back here to Montana, all the way back over here to Minnesota here. We do have winter storm warnings in effect where we could see potentially winter storm conditions being possible here. Then into the purple shades is our winter weather advisory, where we could see a little bit of winter weather being possible here, but it's not too big of a risk. Still be safe on the roads even if you're in that risk here. And then we also have those ice storm warnings here in this dark purple region here, where we could see potentially quite a bit of impacts being possible, with maybe some power outages being possible with ice going on in these regions. So keep that in mind if you're in that purple region, because there could be some ice possible. So make sure to monitor that for sure. Okay, here is our snow map created by the National Weather Service here. Basically the gray is pretty much a dusting to maybe up to 0.9 of an inch here, not very much. Then the lighter blues is an inch to the darker blues to 3 inches here. And then as we start to get into the dark blues to getting close to the purples, is about 3 to probably about 6 there, I'd say, somewhere around that. Then we get in the purples here, heading into those darker pink colors, kind of like here. That's where we have about 6 to 12 inches being possible here. And then this pink region, here, heading into the lighter shades here, is basically 12 inches or more being possible here. So we'll have to watch this region very closely. The exact numbers are also on here if you need to see the exact numbers. It shows 16.7, what this shows here in areas of North Dakota. It looks like southern North Dakota, maybe central North Dakota here. Maybe up to 16.7 inches of snow being possible, and that's just more than a feet of snow. So there's going to be quite a bit of snow being possible here for areas of North Dakota, South Dakota, and Minnesota, and it looks like this will cause problems here. So try not to be on the roads unless it's an emergency. Try not to be on the roads, because this is a lot of snow, and blizzard warnings are in effect, meaning it's going to be very hard to see out. The roads are probably going to get bad very easily. It's just going to be not good to go driving out. So try not to go driving out if you're in these regions here today and tomorrow here, because snow is going to be pretty likely here. Okay, our cold blast here, we do have our 6 to 10 day outlook here. You can see this used to be like above average. We saw really mainly the orange colors on this map here a few months ago. Now we're seeing the blue colors, even the darker blue colors here for areas of the central US, even the upper Midwest here, seeing below average temperatures here. This storm system is going to cause some very, very cold air. As you can see by the 6 to 10 day outlook, it shows a pretty likely chance of above average. I think that's a 90% chance or more chance of seeing below average temperatures here for the Midwest and Central United States, meaning it's going to be most likely chilly out there. And this doesn't just include areas of the Central United States. This heads toward the Northeast. We see quite a bit below average, maybe not as much, but still a little bit below average here. The only area that's maybe around normal or just slightly above normal here is down here in Florida. So pretty much the rest of the U.S. is going to potentially see cooler temperatures being possible here as we move forward into the 6 to 10 day outlook. So it's going to be cold. Make sure to get your jackets, coats, all that ready, because we may see some cold air coming in here. And now we're going to look at our 8 to 14 day outlook. We see not much changes by the 8 to 14, outlook here. We see below average again for the upper Midwest and Midwest here in the Central United States. We're seeing below average temperatures in our bullseye area. Looks like up here in North South Dakota and Minnesota here, but this still extends into the Northeast, into the Southwest here. Probably Southwest probably needs it. Even some areas of the Northwest here. Luckily on this map it does show a little more near average temperatures near the Northwest here. And then we see normal to above normal only here in Florida here. So we're not seeing much above normal here for the 8 to 14. So get ready for potentially some cold weather being possible for the U.S. here. So make sure to get prepared, get your jackets out, get your coats out now so you can get prepared for this cold blast, because it's going to be pretty chilly here after this comes through here. Okay, now it's time to check out our radar here, our live radar time, just to see what's going on here on the radar. This is also a good time to ask any questions here on the stream so I can answer them here. Okay, here is our radar here. We're looking here at Florida here. We're seeing quite a few showers and thunderstorms starting to move through here. Looks like pretty light so far, but the heaviest is here to come over the next few hours. We see we already have a few rain showers going on, and with some of these storms that move through, we'll have to watch for that tornado threat and especially that flash flooding threat being possible as these storms move through. So make sure to monitor that down here in Florida. You guys do have hurricane warnings. We're not expecting a big old major hurricane, but still stay alert here if you're in these regions here, because this is not good news here, having a hurricane potentially hit here. Then if we look up here where we're having those blizzard warnings right now, these little white shades are snow here. So far here in our blizzard warning, we do not have any snow going on according to what it shows here. There may be a little bit of freezing rain going on. I did see earlier from the National Weather Service somewhere here in North or South Dakota here, they did say something about freezing rain. They put something out earlier. So there could have been some freezing rain earlier, and there may still be a little bit of freezing rain here. So if there is, make sure to be careful if you're in these regions here, because there is a chance that could be going on. We also have a few showers and thunderstorms going on here in areas of Minnesota here, close to Minneapolis. Just south of there, we have a few showers going on. So make sure to monitor that. Doesn't look like anything too big, but still watch it closely. A few rain showers here in Wisconsin also. Then our snow here, which will cause our potential blizzard here tomorrow. So we have blizzard warnings in effect for Bismarck, Mata Bridge here. Looks like some possibly heavy snow going on near Wolf Point, Glasgow here. So this will be continue to move east and will cause some heavy snow going on here in North and South Dakota as this continues to move east here. So continue to monitor that if you're in those regions here. We also have quite a bit of snow going on here. It looks like in Colorado also. So maybe a little bit of snow going on there. So we'll have to watch that closely here. Other than that, I'm not seeing too much else going on at the moment. The severe weather region for today has not seen anything, and we'll probably not see something until later tonight. We'll check out the models here in a second just to show you what I'm talking about here. So I think that's pretty much it here with our live radar. So let's move it right on back to our presentation that we're viewing. Okay. So if you guys have any question, let me know. Question time live here. Let me know if you guys have any questions about location, and we're gonna talk about the models here. So let's get into looking at our models here. Let's move it on to tropical tributes here. see what's going on. We're first going to check out the tropical storm or potential hurricane when it makes landfall here for Florida. Okay, Drew said, what do you think about tomorrow's severe weather for Nebraska? Do you think it's going to be bad or not so much? My opinion on it, because I've been tracking it, of course, because my area is going to get hit potentially by it, but it doesn't look too bad to me. DCAPE is near 900 joules per kilogram, but that's not a lot of DCAPE there for damaging winds. But we'll have to watch it closely. If we look here forward, let's move a little forward here. And if we look at the storm here heading into areas here in Nebraska, and check out one of our soundings here. I'll have to zoom it out here for you guys so you guys can see that. And you can see our DCAPE, which is right here. It shows it's around 851 joules per kilogram here. Usually you probably want more DCAPE, and that's one thing that I think this may not be as bad. Really won't be that bad of an event because there's not very much DCAPE here for the storms here to work with. So I don't think it's going to be too bad. There may be a few storms, maybe a little bit of damaging winds being possible, but doesn't look like anything like, last year in December where we saw that derecho occur. I don't think it's going to be anything like that. So, at least in your area there, Drew. So, I don't think you have to worry about that there, really. Maybe a little bit of gusty winds and stuff going on here, but doesn't look like anything too bad. And if we look here at our future radar, it shows not that strong. It doesn't look like of a storm. It doesn't look like it's going to be that severe, at least according to reflectivity, but it's still a day out, so you never know with that. But I don't think it'll be as bad, though, there. So, but good question there, Drew. So we do have our tropical storm. It does show it's going to hit close to around 5 a.m. here, basically tonight into Thursday morning around 5 a.m. here. We do have a landfall from this system here hitting Florida here. So we'll have to watch for potentially damaging winds here down here in Florida. Flash flooding here, maybe some storm surge being possible with it hitting Florida down here. So we'll have to watch that closely. It looks like the heavier rain will start to move in around close to 12 o'clock tonight, so around midnight tonight. The heavier rain will come in, then it'll make landfall close to 5 o'clock in the morning here. And it'll continue to move, it looks like, to the northwest there. And then it moves maybe a little bit into the Gulf. It's not expected to strengthen too much because it's going to make landfall right after that again and cause some heavy rain for Georgia here, Alabama, and Tennessee. But look at this. We see our other powerful storm causing our blizzard back here in North Dakota, causing severe weather here in the Midwest. And then our tropical storm, or at least our remnants by this time, heading in the Northeast, they're going to combine here. And look what happens after that. If I can get my pen to stop doing that. We see quite a bit of rain here for the Northeast as those storms kind of combine here. It looks like here we're going to see quite a bit of rain and thunderstorms going on for Canada and the Northeast by 12 a.m. here, close to Friday night, it looks like, heading into Saturday here. So we will see quite a bit of heavy rain. Let's go back a little bit to see the snow here. We see quite a bit of heavy snow going on around 8 o'clock tomorrow morning here. That's when we're going to start seeing some of the heavier snow. And it continues to move northeast into more areas of Minnesota, North Dakota there. Then when we continue into around 10 p.m. tomorrow night, we see it kind of becomes a little lighter and it ain't as bad. And this shows you there's probably going to be some very heavy snow, because the snow is going to maybe last quite a bit of the day, but we can see that it doesn't last the most long in this area up here in South Dakota and Minnesota. So that tells you there's probably going to be some very heavy snow going on in some of those regions here. So if you're in South Dakota, North Dakota, and Minnesota, mainly North Dakota here, need to be prepared for potentially some heavy snow going on here with the system. But as we were saying about these storms, you see there's going to be quite a bit of heavy rain going on here in the Northeast and we'll have to watch that as we head into, it looks like, close to 8 a.m. Here it starts to arrive here in the Northeast on Friday. We will have to watch for some potentially heavy rain going on. We're going to have to watch for that flash flooding threat. And something else we're going to have to watch is potentially that tornado threat, because we will have the chance of maybe a few tornadoes being possible here on Friday night into Saturday here. We will have to watch for all those threats being possible here into areas of the Northeast. This is as far as we can go, but still something we'll have to watch. And we can see that cold air move through with that trough here on the NAM 3K here. Let's look at our 12K here. The same model here, just a little less in resolution here. We can see that heavy rain continues here for areas of the Northeast here into 6 a.m. here on Saturday. We see that heavy rain continue with flash flooding. Maybe a few tornadoes could be possible. Probably not as big of a threat during the night, but still a threat. And then it continues into Canada. It looks like it's pretty much out of the U.S. by 12 p.m. here on Saturday. It looks like most of it's moved out of the U.S. and we're not dealing with at least the heavier rain here in the Northeast. We are seeing a little bit of snow going on here for areas of Wisconsin. Here, Michigan looks like some lake effect snow potentially going on here. We may see a little bit of snow going on in some of these regions here, or we could see a little bit of accumulation maybe of snow there potentially. So we'll have to watch that closely. And then this is as far as we can go, and maybe we still have a little bit of snow going on for some of these areas here in Wisconsin, Michigan, maybe a little bit Indiana, Ohio, West Virginia, maybe a little bit Pennsylvania and New York here on around Saturday night, around Sunday morning, close to 12 a.m., so midnight here. And we may see a little bit of snow also going on here near Montana here. So, very, very interesting there. We'll have to watch it closely. Okay, let's see here. We're going to real quick go over our severe weather threat for tomorrow. It's something I do want to go over and check out our dynamics here. So let's look at our dynamics here. We're going to move up here to the Midwest where we're going to see the storm move through. And if we fast forward tomorrow, we can see snow going on for the Northeast. But look by tonight around 2 a.m. This is what I'm talking about. That threat potentially tonight. We do have a little bit of a line of something potentially going on here. As I said, according to the model here, it doesn't look too strong here, but still something we're going to have to watch, as we still could have gusty winds. Sometimes it shows on the reflectivity not that strong, but sometimes there is some strong winds going on, even whenever it shows on radar that's not that strong, it doesn't look like. So it looks like we're going to see some stronger winds probably being the main threat with this tonight around 4 a.m. in the morning here. We are seeing potentially some damaging winds being possible here in Nebraska, Kansas, maybe a little bit of Iowa there. Doesn't look like, though, too strong there. As this cold front moves through, they'll continue to move east into 6 a.m. in the morning. We see those storms continue for areas of Kansas, Nebraska, Iowa. At least what it looks like here on the radar. It shows it's not that strong, but most likely it's gonna probably got some gusty winds in this line potentially here. Hello Grace, welcome to the stream. Hopefully you're having a fantastic day there. And as this continues to move east around 11 a.m. tomorrow here, we're still seeing maybe a line of storms. It still doesn't show that strong, but still something we'll have to watch closely. And then we'll continue to move east, and then as we head later into the evening, tomorrow around 4 p.m., maybe a few thunderstorms could develop where this kind of line is, this kind of weak line it looks like here, where the Iowa here, potentially Wisconsin, maybe a few showers, thunderstorms going on, or we could see that gusty wind threat being possible, a little better of a chance there. Then maybe a little bit of rain showers and thunderstorms going on here in Kansas and Missouri tomorrow, so we'll have to watch it. Grace says, what about Brooklyn Park, Minnesota by the Twin Cities? So the Twin Cities are right in here. So let me look here. Let me see if you actually have any alerts here real quick before I talk about your area. I know there's some blizzard warnings. Okay, you guys aren't under any warnings or anything, but just northeast you, or northwest you actually, there is a blizzard potentially going on here. But this is close to North Dakota here, so it's not going to impact you. We're going to check out here on the Mosier area there, the Twin Cities there. It shows, it looks like you may see some rain showers starting to develop around 5 p.m. today. So probably close to now, you may see a few showers and thunderstorms start to develop here. You can see some heavy rain going on in some of those areas. I will have to watch for a little bit of flash flooding, but it doesn't look like anything too big according to the radar here. You will have to watch for that gusty wind threat potentially tomorrow too here. Even though it doesn't look too impressive according to the model here, there could be potentially some gusty winds being possible tomorrow. Maybe up to 40 to 50, maybe some isolated areas seeing up to 60 mile per hour winds, maybe with this line here. But it doesn't look very strong. Then you're going to see that cold air after that here. And you may, possibly a chance, you may see a little bit of leftover snow going on also. So it looks like it's not going to be anything too big. It doesn't look like anything too big severe weather-wise. But still something to watch closely here in your area. And then maybe a little bit of snow afterwards here. And then we're going to see that cold air move through, and you're going to see some cold air next week here around your area. A lot of the U.S. actually will, so not just you. So what about tomorrow? Isn't it supposed to be severe? Yeah, there is a chance of severe weather with this line of storms. There is that chance of severe weather. As I said, I don't know if this is going to be as strong because according to this radar, what it looks like on here, it doesn't look very strong here according to what it shows. But we do have, I believe, a little bit of decape up in these regions. If we look at that here, we have about 800 joules per kilogram of decape. So you could see a little bit of damaging winds, but we'll see what happens here with this event tomorrow. It probably won't be anything too big for your area, but still something we'll watch closely here. But it's not expected to be anything too big for your area. I think you guys are under a marginal risk of severe weather there. Let me make sure of that. I believe you guys are under the marginal risk for tomorrow. I'm going to check real quick to make sure, though. So, yeah, you guys are in the marginal risk of severe weather, which is an isolated risk of severe weather here. So, you may see a little bit of severe weather, but it's not anything too big, most likely. So, yeah, it doesn't look that severe according to the radar here. It looks like just rain showers, but sometimes it shows this, but maybe some strong winds here. If we look at our Cape for tomorrow, we see quite a big Cape, close to maybe just above 800 joules per kilogram from all the way from Oklahoma all the way up here to areas of Minnesota, Wisconsin here. So it looks like we have a little more Cape up here in this area, Minnesota and Wisconsin, but like I said, it doesn't look too severe on the future radar here. Look at our moisture here, see how much moisture we have. We have quite a bit of moisture going all the way up here to Wisconsin here, around, looks like mid 60s here in a lot of these areas, so we'll have quite a bit of moisture for some of these storms. So that will be something we'll have to watch. Then our 850 millibar winds here, do have quite a bit of that here in Iowa, maybe a little bit in northern Missouri here, and here in some areas of Minnesota here, where we could have maybe a chance of an isolated tornado or two being possible here, and some damaging winds, of course, being the main threat here with these storms. So we'll have to watch it closely tomorrow. Something we'll continue to monitor closely here. It's going to start tonight as potentially a line here south of the whole blizzard going on here. It's going to start tonight, maybe some damaging winds being possible. Then tomorrow, continue to move east with potentially some gusty winds being possible. From all the way from Minnesota all the way down to Oklahoma, maybe some damaging winds being possible here. So, okay. Jaden Wolf Tracker says, why am I not watching these streams anymore? I have no idea, Jaden Wolf. Welcome to the stream. Hopefully you've had a good day. Probably because I haven't been streaming very much. So, but I did stream today. So yeah. So I'll probably be ending the stream here in about 4 minutes here. But I will make sure to get any other questions in. So make sure to ask any other questions here, because I will be ending it here at 4:55 here. So, and I probably will have a video out on Friday. I'm going to try to have a video out on Friday. And tomorrow I may do, I'm thinking about maybe doing a live stream, maybe. I may do one tomorrow, I don't know. On the side tomorrow, but I may do a live stream. I'll see you tomorrow, maybe. But if I do a live stream tomorrow, I might not have a video on Fridays. If I do a live stream here on the main channel. But if I decide not to do a live stream tomorrow, I'll probably will have a video, most likely not a live stream on Friday. So I'll probably do a video on Friday and have a video tomorrow on my second channel, which is Brent Weathers 2D. And that leads me to my other thing I did want to say also. I did have to delete my original 2 channels here because I wanted to add it onto my main Google account because they were actually 2 separate Google accounts here. So I added it onto my main channel account. I made the same basically name. It just was a different channel. So did want to mention that real quick also. So if you guys do want to go check that out, you guys can go check that out on my channels tab on my channel here. Okay, let's see here. Raymond's on back. Well, welcome back. We're going to end it here in just a few minutes, around 2 minutes here. So if you have any other questions, let me know within the next 2 minutes. But then I'll probably be ending the stream here. And then Jaden Wolf said it's almost 6 p.m. here in the East Coast. That's cool. It's right now about 5 o'clock here in my area here. So, and it feels weird it's getting dark earlier now because of daylight savings. So, but hopefully daylight savings becomes permanent soon. Hopefully. So I really hope so. But if you guys have any questions, let me know. I'll be ending it here in a minute or two. So just let me know. And I may do, like I said, another live stream potentially tomorrow. I may. It'll be a little longer than today's stream. Probably. If I do one tomorrow. And if I don't have a question here in the next minute or two, I will probably end it. Call it a stream. Let's see. Rayman says, so the hail threat is low. Yeah, the hail threat is a less than 5% chance, meaning there's really not much of a hail threat. There may be just a tiny bit of a hail threat, but not very much. Not enough to prompt a 5% chance of hail. But we do have an isolated tornado chance tomorrow. So we do have that chance and damaging wind being our main risk for tomorrow. We do have that isolated though tornado risk we'll have to watch for. So if you guys do want to go check it out, you guys can go back in the stream and watch all again if you missed something. So, and we're going to end the stream here. Just a second. If I can get back to my slides here. Wasn't quite done here with my slides. Okay. But thank you guys for watching today's stream here. Please like, subscribe, and share. It'd all help a lot here with my streams here. If I do streams kind of like this with no like live coverage on severe weather, I'll probably do streams like this here with the slides here and tell you guys all the information stuff for streams kind of like what I used to do. So I'm focused on I'm gonna say it on another stream because it's ending. So well, I'll see you, Jaden Wolf. Hopefully you have a good rest of your day. See everyone here. Have a good rest of your guys' day. Have a good rest of your week, because there's only Thursday, Friday now this week. Unless if you're still working today. But you only have a few more days left till the weekend, so just think of it that way. But we're going to end the stream here. Hopefully you have a good rest of your guys' day. And thank you guys for watching and your support. Goodbye, everyone.